Some of the types of equipment we don't see very often and absolutely necessary in this circumstance. Here's a look at the coastline today. KSBY Surfline webcams and pretty quiet day. Offshore winds. In fact, we're going to see some really strong offshore winds setting up in this forecast as we go Friday night into Saturday. This is a look from NASA at some of this runoff. You can see all of the mud and silt which has run out into the ocean, and as we heard today in the press conference, that public health officials are saying stay out of the water. Basically, they've declared all of the beaches in the Santa Barbara Montecito area as contaminated water, and they're going to test it again on Friday to see what the levels of bacteria are. But it's not just the levels of bacteria, it's also the fact that they're finding hazardous materials in the water. So stay out of the water. Clearly, it's an issue. Here's a look at the 101 in San Luis Obispo. 70 in San Luis, 64 Paso, 64 Lompoc, 60 in Santa Barbara, and 60 in Santa Maria. The winds right now fairly light in Paso. Otherwise, a northerly wind in San Luis and Santa Maria. Westerly in Lompoc and Santa Barbara. So let's take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for Montecito. Back up into the upper 60s again tomorrow. Pretty benign weather. Northerly winds become southwesterly over the course of the day. In Paso Robles, the hourly forecast gets the temperatures back up into the mid-60s by 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Northeast winds much of the day and picking up some pace in the latter afternoon. San Luis Obispo, a start of 53 degrees at 67 by 11 o'clock and 73 degrees at 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Much above normal, about 10 degrees above normal. And in Santa Maria, looking at low 70s for the daytime highs at 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon with this offshore flow. But let's take a look at this in more detail here. I'm just going to set this into motion. You can see how along the hillsides, Cuesta Grade, the winds really do start picking up after sunset tonight, and locally gusty winds at about 20 and 25 miles per hour overnight. This is a look at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now around the San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria foothills and out by Morro Bay. Now some of those winds are 25, maybe 30 miles per hour. As we get into the morning hours on Friday, they're pretty strong yet again. This is a look at 11 o'clock in the morning. Now we've got that offshore wind going at 20, 25 miles per hour. It backs off a little bit over the course of Friday afternoon, but it's going to be Friday night into Saturday. We could see some local wind gusts out here by Morro Bay and down the Cuesta Grade and around the 5 cities. Some of the wind gusts could be 40 and 50 miles per hour. I kid you not, this is going to blow stuff all over the place, and it's due to high pressure. It has blown out the marine layer, absolutely blown out the marine layer. Now, up to our north, we do have a weak frontal system. A ridge in the jet stream is building in, so going to be quiet for a little while. Microclimate forecast model just shows that that coastal marine layer staying out. However, Central Valley, we're telling all these folks to go over to the I-5. It's going to be an issue. We're going to see some areas of night and morning cloud cover in the Central Valley. So if you're going to follow any of those rerouting pieces of advice, you need to think about the limited visibility in the San Joaquin. So upper 60s and low 70s tomorrow's for the daytime highs, with the overnight lows tonight right around 50 degrees. Santa Ynez Valley mid 70s, mid 60s, and the Cuyama Valley South Coast right around 70. 5 cities area, upper 60s and low 70s, North Coast, North County in the 60s, and the extended forecast here is quiet through the 5-day. The next chance of rain looks to be around the 22nd, 23rd, and it could be a pretty impactful system. We'll talk about it at 6. Stay right there. We're back after this.
The skills you can develop in the Army National